clay. Still pretty easy to ribbon up. I see some aggregation. I don't see any plating to speak of, at least in terms of color layers. But yeah, look how dry that is too, even after all this rain. Smells good. Smells humusy. Yeah, hopefully in a few years we'll start to see some darker tones coming in as we build up that organic matter. But yeah, this is what, let's say a year and a half.
Yeah.
Well, so it was tilled 2 years ago. We planted oats in our pasture mix, and then yeah, we just grazed it last year. So it's really just been, I guess,
in this winter,
really just been 1 year of like regenerative grazing practices.
Oh, worm. Yeah, there he is.
That's nice to see. Yeah,
Put him back in there.
worm that close to the surface. So yeah, got a ways to go.
Everything's really greening up. That's our hay trails. So that'll be cool to see when the grass pops up what it's gonna do. We're anticipating it to be super dark green.
We got a good blend. I mean, I see some orchard grass here. Got some clover coming up. Some little bluegrass, maybe, I think. We didn't plant bluegrass. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it seems pretty bluegrass looking at the short stuff. Some fescue in here. That's definitely fescue. Yeah, you can tell the fescue because it's got these real distinct lines running through it, and yeah, from the sheath there. And it's got a waxy kind of look to it. Sheep are up on the hill grazing there. You can see the paddock we moved them out of. I mean, this is where they were a couple weeks ago, and it's recovering really nicely. Still got some kind of thick patches of hay, but I'm not too concerned. I mean, the grass will find its way up through there and start breaking that down, and that'll feed the soil. And yeah, got some nice green grass up in that next paddock and a little bit of shelter in that draw there, so that helps. Nick's over there feeding the dogs and petting them, checking them out. Zeep's out on patrol. A little bit windy. We're expecting some rain this afternoon, so I'm just out here picking up some fencing. We're going to get their next long strip set up next to that one. And we reached that permanent 920 fence, and then we're going to head back down towards the pond going the other way. So I need some more stakes, so I came out here to start picking up this perimeter fence going on that way. What I like to do is walk uphill empty-handed and then start picking up these sticks. I drive forward enough to get a nice armful, and then I can stick them in the truck. Works pretty good. Well, this is kind of exciting. A little patch of ramps here. Pretty small, right on this old fence line that we're going to work on cleaning up here. But first ones I've seen this season, so kind of excited about that. If you don't know ramps, they are in the onion family. We've got a real mild, like chive taste to them. You can dig them up and eat the bulb and eat the leaves like green onions, and they're really delicious. Really good thing to be eating this time of year. So I think I'll let these get a little bit bigger and come back and get some of them. Probably harvest a few to eat and then transplant the rest somewhere else, because this is all going to get mowed and cleaned. We got to get this old barbed wire out of here and this old high tensile wire out of here, and chop down a bunch of these trees and all these roses, and Yeah, it's a big cleanup mission, but eventually this will just be a nice 5-strand high tensile wire that's hot and keeps our animals in. And yeah, a little bit of work, but we'll get there. So just dug a little hole here in what was perennial pasture before we bought the property, and it looks very similar to what we had up in the tilled area, but yeah, I don't see, colors very similar, but I can feel a difference when I grab a handful of this stuff and try to ribbon it out. It breaks apart a lot easier. You can tell that soil aggregation is significantly better, so it smells better too. It's more of that intense humusy smell from the acetomycetes. Oh yeah, there's a difference. Really got to get into it and feel it to notice it, but there definitely is a difference here. So when the sheep are rubbing on stuff like this little rose bush here, they're starting to lose their fur. That's a nice little chunk of wool. The nice part is I didn't have to shear it off. It just fell off here out on the pasture. Some more little clumps in the grass over there. And this is great nesting material for birds. Natural fiber, insulative. So this will be great. All the little birds that come out and grab a little tuft of that to make their nest. And we're providing a little bit of support and habitat for that wildlife with our sheep flock here. You get a really nice view from up here on the hill. See the sheep where they're at. See the hay that we put down. See the next strip where we're going. See the grove of hickories over there and that nice draw. That's where we want to be for lambing mid-May. This area up here comes Nick picking up more of this perimeter fence. It's really interesting. You can see the impact of the grazing here, just what a difference that makes between where the animals have been and where they were excluded, how much additional growth there is there. So nice part is though, now that this is chomped, there's an enzyme action from their saliva, and there's action on the soil from their hooves. The fact that they're cropping and pruning these grass plants is going to cause them to bush out more. It's going to cause them to slough off some roots. It'll break down in the soil and feed the soil. So, as much as this looks maybe a little bit better over here right now, I know that because of our grazing and the rest period we're giving it, this is going to look better than this after it's got a few months rest. So we got our next paddock set up here, going up the hill with that big stump in it. And if you look here on the new paddock division we put up, we decided to go with just 2 wires. We got our goats here back in, what was that? In January, February, March. We gave them 3 full months. Well, it was mid-January, so here we are mid-April. We've had 3 full months of training them on 3 wires. And now we're ready to go down to 2. And we'll do at least 2 months of training them on 2 wires, and then hopefully we'll be able to get down to 1. But we've been doing 2 wires on our paddock splits, and it's been working. Nobody's challenged the fence. Nobody's been getting out, knock on wood. So we're gonna try it. And when you're walking up and down these hills stringing wire, 1 less trip is significant. It makes a big difference in the amount of labor. So pretty excited about that, and we'll see how it goes. Well, while we're down here in the draw picking up fences, still got some over there to reclaim, figured I'd come take a look at this erosion control experiment Aubrey and I did. Yeah, no real change, looks about the same. We've gotten a little bit of rain, so it's good to see we're not seeing any change in the cut of the bank there, but wouldn't have really expected anything, but just wanted to take a quick look and see what was happening here. Oh, here comes Nikki with the machine. We'll grab this reel and keep on picking up fences.
Oh, you got the reel?
Yep, got the reel. Alright, so we can start with that reel there. And the fence on this side stays.
On this side stays?
Yeah, that way stays.
That one goes that way.
But from the reel around the hill over everything
By
over
the
that way
pond.
can get picked up. A little tippy here.
Not like Jordan. There we go.
Ooh, we're back up in the wind. Oh, just a gust. Getting all eerie out here. Oh, you got a nice view from here. See the new paddock, the paddock they're in, and the old paddock to the right. And this is that hill with the apples that we're, yeah, I mean, we gave them plenty of time to work it over, let this rest. Oh, I'm going to come back and wage war on these roses when I get a chance. What do you think?
Well, okay, so this line comes around here. It'd be nice they could drink out of the stream if we kept it up here, because they're not going to come through these roses. And then it comes along that way.
Use this for our back fence?
Right.
That's a good
They
point.
don't need to come up here anymore.
We
And
do
then
want
we
to
could
keep
just
them out
reel
of
up
this.
all this stuff and bring it that way.
Well, we want to keep them out of the mud. So,
Right, so we'd have to do a little bit of fancy footwork, but
so yeah, if we dropped something
maybe,
right across the creek and then over the bridge,
well, like
and then
they
went
did with
around that
Shadow,
side of
like
the
they could
pond.
have they could have the bridge and they could have the thing,
creek,
but
yeah.
they can have the creek to drink, and then that island and the dam, and then it goes over by the peaches over there and then up.
Yeah, well, I want to kind of hug the bank here, because we could get them in this brush maybe, you know, and we can be right on the edge of the dam, or on the edge of the pond. We just want to keep them out of the mud so they're not getting stuck in there and mucking up the bank. Sheep tend not to do that like cattle do, but when it's like this, I just don't want to take chances. Well, up here on Apple Hill, you can see they didn't do much impact on the roses, but I'll take what I can get. Any little bit helps. And now that we've grazed it, we'll come through with a brush cutter and knock all these down, and then come through with the brush hog and mulch, chop them into mulch, and then have a little more grass than we did last time. And yeah, this is the last reel we got to pick up here, about to roll up, except I'm going to hold it the right way. Can't really yeah, reel this up and then hit these stakes, and that's what we wanted to accomplish today. So, you know, we got some weather coming in. I'm trying to stay ahead of that, but should be a few more hours. We'll get some storms in here, and not too bad. The worst of it's south of us. There is a risk of tornadoes and hail and stuff, so that's always a concern. But anyhow, thanks for watching. We'll get this wrapped up and head back in. We just had a big storm roll through. Boy, that lightning, everything is super green. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's a massive rainbow coming down just behind the pond there. Beautiful.